As we first told you the other day, a man has been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter following the death of hockey player Adam Johnson. Johnson died after suffering a slashed neck during a hockey game last month in the UK.
All right, for more on this, we're joined now by sports analyst Rod Black. Rod, good morning to you. And police, they say they launched an investigation immediately after this incident on the ice. Do we have any details as to what that investigation found and what led to an arrest being made here?
Well, good morning to you both. I've chatted with you about a lot of sports subjects. This is one that I never in a million years would have thought, because it was such a freak accident or incident. It has become a criminal investigation. A manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter charge is what I've heard. They have not announced in the press in London, England, or in the United Kingdom, who the person who has been charged, and there isn't a charge yet. It is Matt Petgrave, though, the player who was involved with Adam Johnson. And it's a very unique situation. We have had players charged in hockey incidents in the past, but certainly nothing like this. But I think anybody who knows the game and anybody who saw the incident as well, even though they're talking about the kicking motion that came with it, would have to say that this has been an absolutely tragic event, not only for the Johnson family, for Matt Petgrave as well, but it is something that is going to be ongoing as well over the next little while. So we will know more.
Rod, you mentioned those other instances where charges have been laid against players. Extremely rare. But let's just remind viewers about those incidents where we've seen criminal charges laid in the NHL.
Well, we've seen it before with Marty McSorley, Todd Bertuzzi. And again, those were aggressive acts on the ice where players were charged. And, they actually had to do some probation time. They had to give fines out. The NHL at the time, the National Hockey League, also handed out fines and suspensions. They policed themselves. But, rarely does something like this happen where a skate is involved. However, it has happened in the past. We saw this in the past, and there was never any criminal intent at all. And I think that's what obviously investigators are looking at. But you go back to the Clint Malarchuk incident that happened years and years ago with a skate blade to a goaltender's neck, and he lost so much blood, and he was lucky to survive. Richard Zednik also got a skate to the throat area. And so we're at a time now, that we have to think about this. Yeah, is it a freak accident? Yeah, so is getting struck by lightning. But we hear about people getting struck by lightning, and the idea is don't go outside or find safe place. And same thing, I think, for a hockey rink. It is a very dangerous game. We have to understand that, and people can get cut, can get hurt.
All right, just like back then, this latest incident, Rod, it has reignited the debate about sports in the courts. What role does the legal system have when it comes to what happens on a hockey rink, in the arena, or on the field of play?
Well, if there is any intent, obviously, it is a game. It's just not hockey. There's, we've seen acts of aggression in other sports as well. And if there is an intent and it's aggressive, I'm sure that the courts are going to get involved. We're in that world right now. And we're also in a world of litigation for a lot of people. But we're talking about somebody dying here, a young hockey player who died. And again, I do believe it is an absolute freak injury or accident. I do believe it is one that could have been prevented. But I do also think that, when they look at this, they're probably looking, did Matt Petgrave try to kick with intent to hurt? Did he try to seriously hurt him, try to kill him? No, of course not. But I think this is where the law is going to start getting involved. And because of the dangers involved, you guys, I do think that we might see the legal system get involved a little more. We've had players in many sports charged, as we said in the past, over aggressive incidents.
Rod, apart from this specific situation, you just said a couple of moments ago, hockey is a dangerous sport. So does the sport need to be more proactive when it comes to the issue of player safety and less reactive? Whether it's neck guards, face masks, body contact. These issues have come up over and over again. And it seems that it has to take a major injury for us to rethink things.
Well, it's life. We see it in life. Unfortunately, a pedestrian gets hit in an area where there's no crosswalk. And then the next thing you know, there's a crosswalk. And I don't mean to bring it down to that level or up to that level, but sports is like that too. I mean, if you look at hockey, players, male players protected the family jewels for many years before they protected their heads. And then finally, it took a player on the ice to die, Bill Masterton, before they started to legislate helmets. It took them 11 years to put helmets into play. And then, of course, visors and, face protection. But I think we've been really reticent, perhaps, and negligent to think about the neck area and the wrist area, the areas where the skate blades are so sharp. By the way, it happens in minor sport. You hear about it a lot, or sometimes you don't hear about it because it's in a small town somewhere. Players have died. It also took the National Hockey League, a long time to put netting up until, unfortunately, a spectator was struck, a young girl was struck and died, and they put netting up. Same thing in baseball. They put netting up. And yeah, you're right. We are so reactive. This one seems so logical to me. Young players now in hockey, minor hockey, boys and girls, wear neck guards since they're growing up. They've been wearing them for a long time. To me, there's no reason why they can't graduate that to the junior level and even to the pro level. So we don't see something as horrific as that happening. The Clint Malarchuk one should have been a cautionary tale when we saw how a goaltender. I mean, they did put a protection in, but look what happened after that. We are at a stage now where I think, yes, net guard protection or wrist guard or any area where you can get cut, we have to put that into play.
All right. We're going to have to leave it there for now. Rod, appreciate your time as always and your perspective. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you.